The next chapter that we are going to study is sound. We are going to focus on the sound, then identify those sounds, what is sound basically, and how is it produced, how it travels, and what are the classification of pleasant and unpleasant sounds. Basically, one should understand the sound is a direct relation with vibrations, right? So vibrations are produced from the objects, and these vibrations is basically giving rise to sound. And the medium that is required is solid, liquid, and gas. Sound cannot go through the vacuum. Simple words. Sound is a form of moving energy. And this energy, it is produced by the to and fro motion of a body. And this to and fro motion, that rapid to and fro motion is called as vibration. Re-revise the word. What is sound? It is a form of energy, and this energy travels in the form of waves. What kind of waves? You will learn it in your ninth standard. So whenever the matter vibrates, and it very quickly vibrates, the molecules are vibrating, then it will produce a sound. And what kind of vibration? To and fro. Up, what is important? You have to understand that sound is going to travel. It needs medium to move from one place to another place, and that medium is solid, liquid, and gases. You can see in this picture that a guitar string is there, the tuning fork is there. Then we have made our own self toy where I'm using a rubber band and two pencil sticks are there. So that is how we are going to see the to and fro motion. You can give your own examples. Out of these, you have observed these examples in your surroundings, but you can see and find out more examples from your surroundings where you can see this vibration and where you can see and understand the sound is being produced. So when anyone asks you how sound is produced or created, then your answer will be that if there is a movement in air particles, then that particle will pass on that movement to the other particle next to it, and this is how it travels. The Whenever the object vibrates, it was going to produce the sound waves, and it keeps going until the particles run out of the energy. When an object vibrates, it disturbs the air around it. The molecules of air in contact with the vibrating object, it will also begin to vibrate, and this vibrating air column, air molecule, will in turn touch the another molecule close to it, that and pass on this vibration to it. And this kind of thing is sound wave, right? And it is kind of chain reaction, and we have already discussed it in our previous slides that sound needs a medium to travel. If we are saying that in vacuum the sound is not traveling, the reason is that it doesn't have the air molecules in it. Students, just see the figure. As you can see very clearly, when the speed of sound is there, it is fastest in the solid medium where the molecules are tightly packed, like steel, 5000 meter per second. Now, in the case of gas, that is air, it is only 340 meter per second. So it is slowest here, and it is definitely not going through vacuum because it doesn't have the molecules. Very important, it travels in all directions. Like if you drop a pebble in the water, then you can see the wave is generated around that pebble where it has been dropped. The same way the sound is moving in all the direction. It is not one sided movement. In this picture you can see clearly one side a pendulum has been shown, right? So it's to and fro motion, basically we are going to observe it, and these are the characteristics of sound. So basically you have to look into the five aspects. The three are in front of you, that is time period, time taken to complete one oscillation, frequency, number of oscillations in 1 second, right? So you can have the unit in hertz. SI unit is hertz. and it determines the pitch of the sound also. Now, amplitude is the maximum displacement the sound, the oscillation is going to happen, right? The bob is going how far from its mean position, then it is going to decide the amplitude. In its SI unit is meter. So, in the three things, the blue highlighted portions, make sure that you are through with the definitions and the SI unit used to define those characteristics of sounds: time period, frequency, and amplitude. So very carefully see again, I'm representing the wave, the sound wave we had been talking about right from the first slide. That this is how it can be easily understood. You can see the L shaped graph I have drawn here, the x axis and the y axis. In x axis, I have written the time, and y axis, I've written the amplitude. Now, you are going to just check it out, the two waves, one dotted wave and one normal line graph wave I'm showing. The amplitude is very clear, how far it goes from the mean position. The straight line towards the time, parallel to time, is the normal mean position. Now, how up the crest is formed, how down the trough is formed is the amplitude. And what is the wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between the two crests or the two troughs. Now, very importantly, see the waves down below, where you can see the high frequency waves, means number of crest is more in the case if it is high frequency, and number of waves are less in case of low frequency sounds. So females always have the high frequency voice. Their pitch is high. So that means number of frequency is, the frequency is more, the number of oscillations are more. So they have a shrilled voice. Now, in case of a softer voice, if you are saying hello very softly, you are saying, then your wave will come down, and the crest formed is very near to the baseline. And if you are shouting and in very loud voice you are saying anything, then your wave will be quite up. जो आपकी हिल बनेगी वो बहुत ऊंची बनेगी जब आप बहुत जोर जोर से बोल रहे हैं, और जब आप धीरे से बोल रहे हैं तो आपकी जो वेव है वो नियर द बॉटम लाइन रहेगी, मीन पोजीशन के पास रहेगी। वो पहाड़ी जो आप देख रहे हैं ना, जो वेव आप देख रहे हैं वो बहुत छोटी वेव बनेगी। और अगर बहुत श्रिल्ड आवाज आपको सुनाई दे रही है, बहुत तीखी, बहुत ज्यादा हाई फ्रिक्वेंसी साउंड है, तो सारी वेव्स पास पास बनेंगी। और अगर आपकी आवाज में फ्रिक्वेंसी नहीं है, मतलब आपकी आवाज फ्लैट है, तो वो वॉइस में आपको क्रेस्ट कम दिखेंगे। क्रेस्ट जो ऊंची पहाड़ी बन रही है, ट्रो जो नीचे डाउन बन रहा है, तो दिस क्रेस्ट एंड ट्रो मेक वन वेव। All humans hear sound through our ears. And we must understand the whole ear is been divided into three parts to have the basic understanding: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear, right? The outer ear has got pinna. It is shaped like a funnel, and this whole vibrations are taken, this whole sound are taken, they travel, the sound enters and it travels through the ear canal. Then you are going to see a eardrum there. It is a stretched thin membrane, stretched thin membrane, and this stretched thin membrane, it produces the vibrations. Now, as soon as these vibrations are produced, they are being taken to the next part, and that is the middle part, right? So, in the middle part of the ear, you are going to see the three bones. The smallest bone stapes is there, incus malleus. These then forwarded to the cochlea. The we are going inside the inner ear. The cochlea has got a liquid inside. You will later on study the details, more depth of the things. And this is how the semicircular canals are there. And ultimately, this whole vibration is taken by the auditory nerve and given to the messages sent, the signals are sent to the brain, where they are unfolded, right? So this is how the sound travels from outer ear to middle ear and then to inner ear, then to auditory nerve, and ultimately the brain will read those things. The same thing again I have written in point by point manner. Whatever the human ear diagram you have understood there, the outer ear, it has got two parts, ear pinna and the ear canal and drum. Canal is a passage, eardrum is a thin elastic membrane, middle ear has got three bones, malleus, incus and stapes, and inner ear has cochlea. And ultimately, who is taking the signals? The auditory nerves are taking signals from ear to the brain. You can watch this student. A few of my students have made the blog on this, the sensory organs. The YouTube link is provided here. Now we know that we need a vibrating body for the production of sound. So the fact is that sound of frequency 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz is audible because we can hear them. We are able to understand them. And if the sound is not audible to us, then that can be of two category. And they will be classified as inaudible sounds. One sound frequency where the frequency is less than 20 hertz, it is called infrasonic sounds. Some organisms are there which have the power to hear those infrasonic sounds also. Humans cannot hear them. And what are ultrasounds? They are also inaudible sounds. We cannot hear them also, but their range is quite high. That is, they are the sound that are produced more than 20 hertz, right? So, what is the human ear range? The human ear range is frequency roughly between 20 to 20,000 hertz. So, what is the range we cannot hear? It is the inaudible range, which is below 20 hertz, yeah, more than 20,000 hertz. But some animals are there which can hear the sounds of frequencies higher than 20,000 hertz. The dogs have the ability. You have seen that the police are using those dogs which can hear, but sound humans cannot hear those sounds. Then the whales are there, the dolphins are there, the bats are there, the monkeys are there, some species. So they can hear those ultrasonic sounds. Second thing in this picture is you can see down the picture, which is a musical sound and which is not unwanted, which is unwanted range. But very important thing is sound is measured in units called decibels. So continued exposure to sound over 85 decibel will be dangerous to your ears. It may cause hearing loss also. Unwanted sound. Unwanted. So it can be anywhere, at home, around on roads, at traffic signals. So anything that disturbs you is very loud. That is the unwanted sound, right? So a lot of sources are there. You must know first line the definition. What are the sources? The sources outside home is, even if the dogs are continuously barking, that is also not enjoyable. Loudspeakers, the bursting of firecrackers. That is why the government has taken strict orders that after 11, nobody should burn the crackers. So, noise in factories, any construction works are going on, that is also very noisy. And usually, around hospitals and schools, the noise is left out. But I have seen a lot of people honking badly on roads. That is also an unwanted sound. Heard somebody playing guitar and pianos and sitar, and you are enjoying yourself, you are relaxing yourself. Reason being because these sounds are pleasing sounds. They relaxes you. Those sound produced by harmoniums, the strings of sitar, they're musical sounds, right? So you might have heard your instruments, musical instruments, that percussion instruments, fluids, they are the wind instruments, है ना? So these sounds, they are going to cause some positive effects if it is a pleasing sound, and if the sound is not healthy, it is noisy, then it is going to disturb your sleep. Loss of concentration is there, irritation, high blood pressure. This important section is there. What is noise? You have heard this is a 5 marks question always been asked. What is noise? What are the effects of noise, and how you're going to prevent and control this noise? To limit it, one must play sound at a low volume, minimize the honking while you are driving. Planting trees are also like they're the cutters of sound, right? And vehicles should have the silencers. The industry should be located uh, just away from the domestic areas or the schools, or they should be placed in remote areas basically. Friends, this particular chapter is all activity based, so you just and try your hands at different activities. Create your own paper banger, right? Paper banger, what is it? You have to just google it out again. I'll just drop a picture. You can do one activity. Take a bathtub, right, and just put a water into it, and take a bell, the bell you see in the temples, and just produce a sound inside. Just beat it out. You will hear the sounds, right? You can take a meter scale, meter rod, and hold one of its end to your ear and ask your friend to gently scrap or tap or tick tock with another scale. You will be able to hear the sound. You can make your own toy telephones. You can make your own musical instruments, like as you have seen in the picture earlier I've shown in the slide. So lot of activities are there where you are going to enjoy the different sounds and the characteristics that are being produced. Then you will be easily distinguishing between a sound of a drum and a whistle. The drum sound, it will be a flat sound, right? The frequency will be less. But in case of a whistle that your P sir or P ma'am is blowing, then that is having the shrilled sound, high pitched sound. That means the frequency will be more. So with Jal Tarang, you can make your own Jal Tarang. Lot of activities are there. So this chapter can be better understood if you are trying your hands with all these activities. Recapitulate. Let's recapitulate the whole chapter. That sound is produced by vibrations. Vibrating objects, they produce a sound. And in human beings, the vibration of vocal cords, they produce sound. And how we are going to hear it? Hear it through the ear. Sound travels through medium, but it cannot travel through vacuum. The eardrum senses the vibrations of a sound and it sends signals to the brain through auditory nerves, and this process is called hearing. The number of oscillations of or vibrations per second is called frequency. What is time period, you should know. And very important, the frequency of the SI unit of frequency is hertz. The larger the amplitude, the louder is the sound. Higher the frequency, the shriller is the sound. Unpleasant sounds are called noise. The pleasant sounds are musical instruments. And if you are trying to minimize the noise pollution, then you have to look into a lot of matters. That is, you can plant more trees, you can have silencers in your vehicles, you should stop honking, you should avoid firecrackers, and this is how we can avoid this noise pollution. Everyone, put on your thinking caps and tell me why you hear the sound when you clap your hands together, when the sound will travel faster. And give reasons to with your things and fun with sound. Make your own toy telephone jaltarang, and don't forget to forward me the videos of what kind of do it yourself toy you have made out of this chapter. And hope you are going to enjoy this chapter while you are doing those things.